America.org. Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Now, I'm sure that most of you know the old story about the astronaut who went far out into space and was asked on his return whether he had been to heaven and seen God. And he said yes.
Greetings, ladies, gentlemen, non-binaries, and sentient artificial intelligence. Join us on this journey to find the others. Because no matter where we find ourselves in this multiverse, the act of existing is all too familiar.
Guys? Is anybody out there? Hello?
The mushroom has a tremendous problem-solving ability.
Herbs are productivity.
As we look across this great expanse and stare at the stars, we can't help but be reminded these lights, though we're seeing them all at the same time, happened across a multi-billion-year delta. Some of those fires burned millions of years ago, some billions, but all of them happened so we could experience them in this one singular moment.
They called us scouts. They called us seekers. They called us Hoosier. But we were destined to question everything.
I don't know about you, and as for me, the question has already been answered. Should we be here? Yes.
It's Friday night, St. Louis. Hoosier Sophisticate here on WGNU 920 AM. Our guy Jack Buck bringing us in. It is that time. Baseball season is upon us. I would call the baseball season is the sunrise of the season of the dad. The sunrise of the season of the dad. Dads are at their best.
This is
in
the
spring
dad.
and the summer.
This is the Dad and Lad show. This one goes out to all our dads and our lads and everybody listening, especially my dad.
Not my dad.
But he's listening.
He is watching. He's watching.
Listening.
It's the Dad Show.
Dad
the
Show.
Dad Edition. We are dads. We have fun.
Dad stuff. We
Dad
do
and-
dad
we
stuff.
dad it up.
Two dads. Seth's not here.
We
Integrity's
finally-
a dad. Integrity is in the building.
Integrity in the building.
Our guy, probably the coolest dad.
Way better than us.
Totally better than us.
I saw a thing on Facebook or Instagram where he had his kids like reciting this thing about being powerful adults that are really going to take on the world, and adversity is not going to slow them down, and they're going to be just pillars of society. And I tried to do something similar with my kids. I'm like, hey, why do we fall? And I was like, and you guys say, so we can get back up.
We can get back up.
And I'm like, why do we fall? And you're like, shut up, Dad. Yeah, I know.
A lot of pent up anger in those little ones.
I know.
Did you give him a little
I've
knuckle
been
cake?
nut.
Did you give him a little Greek knuckle salad?
I gave him a Greek knuckle olive dip tzatziki baklava sauce.
That sounds awful. All of those things don't go together. Guys, thank you for joining us on this wonderful journey. It's Steve and I riffing tonight. There ain't no boss in the building.
And they
There ain't
told
no
us to come to
boss
the
in the
back
building.
door.
They said, you guys, please, we don't want to be seen in front of our station. Parking back, come in through the back, try not to make a scene, get in, get out.
Yeah.
Well, the
Get in
joke's
and get
on them,
out.
Steve, because right out the gate, we're going to give you a big announcement because of the season, because of what that means for our loving, the sons that we love so much and our kids. And what it means to be a good dad, at least to us.
It's the
You know,
heaviest thing.
It means
around.
sports are starting up.
Yeah, cracking the old bat.
Friday nights, kids got some activities.
Hit the ball with
So
their
what we're
foot.
going to do to accommodate our children is we're going to move to 8 o'clock next week, 8 to 10 next week.
Can't believe they're making me
Bring in the
change my
fire.
life.
We got to do it. We got to do it. So stay tuned for that next week. No, I like this in my. I like to be mysterious.
Watch us on Facebook.
Check us out on Facebook and YouTube. Mycelial Media.
Now it's going to be coming at you at 8.
Are you a big podcaster? Well, you should be.
Yeah,
You totally should be.
I am.
You can find us on every major podcasting platform except for Spotify. You want to know why?
I do want to know why. I already know why.
We've
I want you to know.
used music in the past on our show because we're a radio show, and that's what radio shows do. We have intros, we have outros. And because of the way Spotify is set up, in order for us to move that onto that platform, we cut a lot of that audio.
How do they feel about killing art? I just want to know.
Well,
I want to
clearly.
ask the person.
That's kind of a
there
trend
as
right
well.
now. Silencing,
Kill art.
burning books. What I
kill
equate to
anyone.
burning books in 2019, like Amazon's decided not to sell books now of all different varieties.
I burn books all day long.
Jeez, that's just scary to me.
I know it's scary.
It's scary to me.
It's Orwellian.
A little Orwellian. Look at you go with your big words. Guys, we've got all kinds of stuff on the docket before we get to
Yeah, tell them about the events coming up. Then I got a little. I want to share a little something with you, and all of you. I want to share something very personal. Let's go ahead and tell them about the events.
Yesterday I woke up whistling.
You did, man. You were.
Boom, 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 boom,
Thank you.
Anyway,
Bring it back around.
that's where I woke up. That's how I woke up.
Yeah.
It's
and it had to be
weird. It's
miserable for
something
everyone
that-
else in your house.
Totally.
Miserable.
I'm a whistler.
Ugh.
I'm already a
That's
whistler.
bad.
I like whistling. I whistle while I work. I'm a happy guy. That's where the music's got to come out of me, Steve. So I woke up whistling. Yesterday was opening
Or
day.
go into you.
Super excited the baseball season's back. Tough loss, but I'll tell you what, a beautiful loss, if you will. A lot of long balls, and for the game to end on Lorenzo Cain going over the wall and Robin Jose Martinez pinch hit in the bottom of the ninth, 2 outs. What a way to end the game. You're bummed. You're bummed. You want to see one opening day, but it was pretty baseball.
I'm so confused right now. What baseball season started? I'm all messed up in the head because right now we should all be focused on Cardinals or Blues hockey.
No, you had it right the
there.
first time. You
Damn
see,
Floridian slip.
baseball hasn't ended. It went straight from the World Series into the hot stove, and then from the hot stove into spring training, and now here we are.
No,
You're
sir.
a hockey guy.
I'm a hockey guy through and through. And you know what? Opening day, though, you're right. It is. It's a fun deal. It's getting the boys back. The boys of spring are back on the birds on the bat and the termites are bang. So the boys are back. The boys of summer are back.
Boys of summer
okay?
are back, man. And the point is
I love it.
as great as opening day is, it's always kind of a bummer when it's on the road because the real opening day, the real holiday in St. Louis is the home opener, which is next Thursday.
Mhm.
And
can't wait.
I kind of scolded some people on Facebook. Well, didn't scold people, but hey, is your business really vital to stay open? Are you saving lives? Are you a first responder? Are you a doctor?
Are you putting on siding?
Yeah. What are you doing?
Are you
because-
are you slanging hemp oil?
Because
from
nobody's
Lomed
trying to be at
Camco?
work at 2:00 next week. So I'm letting my boss know now.
No
That
one's working,
next
right?
week
No
is
one's
Hoosier
working.
Hooky Day. We're gonna go catch opening day down at O'Shea's at the Grove. Good little spot, nice little pub. TV's kind of up in the corners, got a little shuffleboard. It's a nice little spot, low key time. Get the Hoosiers out there. We're gonna watch the ball game anyway. We might as well all get together, have a little fun. So check out O'Shea's Pub next Thursday.
I wasn't gonna go, and the way you just described it right now, brother, I'm in.
You're in.
I'm in.
Right
Let's
on.
go. Let's have a good
Right
time.
on. So that's one of many announcements. We're gonna tease. I'm gonna tease this a little bit later on in the show. If you hang around, we're going to announce the date for Hoosier Cotillion.
Oh, people have been blowing us up about when's the cotillion? When can I have the time of my life? What is the cotillion? Oh, it changed your life? Can I get in on that? Sure, you can, but you gotta listen.
You're gonna have to listen in the 7:00 hour. We'll let you know when Hoosier Cotillion is. You can make your plans. We got a nice little surprise for the alumni of the inaugural Hoosier Cotillion. What else we got? We got the new Showtime. Pretty much got everything. Oh, tomorrow.
What?
We made a little. Oh, I didn't tell Steve this yet. We made a nice little friendship at Missouri at the cannabis conference, MoCan BizCon, and it was Peacemaker Defense Group. These guys are, man,
Yeah, they're awesome.
they're awesome. These guys are, top-notch security team. They've been in theaters all over the world in situations all over. I trust these guys with my life. That's their job.
Andy,
Can you imagine? My job, what I sell, you just have to trust me with your life.
yeah, I know.
That's what these guys do.
Andy took off, got in the vehicle, was like whoop whoop, and what was it, Alex. Anytime there's a call, anytime, anywhere you need them, scoop,
See ya.
they're out, man. What? They were intense yet not intimidating. Very confident in what they do, the way they carried themselves as a company. I'm enamored. I want them to be our friends. Like,
For sure.
what's the deal?
For sure. So tomorrow, Steve, we were kind of playing around with an idea at the conference because they had their dogs.
Oh yeah, no, it's
They one of the things that they sell is dog training.
Yeah.
And these dogs, I'm pretty sure they can do calculus. These dogs are smart.
they wear ski goggles.
They're awesome. They do wear ski goggles, protects them from cataracts, which makes sense. Makes
That's what they
perfect
say.
sense.
That dog just wanted to look cool.
You just want to look cool.
Listen, I'm not a
Where you
cat
been?
guy.
I've been gleaming the cube.
Yeah, man, bro, I've been skipping down the mountains. Is that what they say?
Yeah, sure. Shredding the gnar.
I don't like cats. So you think, oh, he's a dog guy. I don't like dogs. If anything, I'm a hyena guy. Thank you, Oliver, for that joke. He gave that to me earlier, so I just wanted to shout him out.
Solid dad
edition.
move. Solid dad
Look,
move.
it's part cat, part dog. So I'm like, I don't think that's
Is
true.
that the thing?
Yeah, it is. It's part cat, part dog.
It's part
Hyena.
feline, part canine.
Hyena. It suits. It fits. I like hyenas, but I'm more of like a wolf or like a wolf panther guy, like dogs and
Yeah.
cats.
Yeah.
I'm a
Okay.
wolf panther guy. Because guess what? That dog's gonna try
Apex
to bite
predators.
me. That dog's gonna try to bite me tomorrow in the morning at 10 a.m. 10:30. Get on Facebook Live.
Oh, I did tell you.
Quit all of your plans. Yeah, I know. I remembered when you started saying it. But I'm gonna be put in the bite suit. Maybe not, because I don't think the dog's gonna catch me. The dog ain't gonna catch me. Thor, not gonna catch me.
Thor's going to catch you. He's going to catch you quick. He's going to catch
We'll
you
see.
quick. We were thinking about.
Watch Steve outrun a dog.
We thought that
tomorrow
the
at 10.
greatest video opportunity for this was to try and do this bite down the middle of the conference, down the great hall where all of these vendors were. Conference wanted to shut it down. We were going to go do it outside in the little courtyard area. No go. So we were like, hey, we'll get together. We'll do this. They reached out to us. We put it together. So tomorrow, down in the city, it was going to be an outdoor deal.
Do
But
you
the
wanna see Steve-
weather's not supposed to be so great. So he calls me up and he's like, hey, change of address. We're going to do this thing indoors. And I'm like,
Down in the city, that's where I belong, getting bit by a dog. But guess what? The dog's not gonna catch me, guys. Peacemaker.
the fact that you're indoors makes this
Defense
like you're
group?
going to have to be doing wall flips. It'd be
Listen,
parkour.
I've never been caught by a dog yet. Okay. I've never been chased by one, but I'm betting 1,000, baby.
Yeah. Okay. Or you're betting zero.
Zero.
Yeah. Either way.
I'll get out there. I stole base.
So tomorrow morning,
If
check
you
us
want to
out.
see me get
Facebook
bit by a
Live.
dog,
Facebook Live. Steve suiting up.
if you
Dog
want
is
to
gonna
see
get
me outrun a dog,
I have a feeling I'm probably going to get roped into this as well.
well,
Which is
you're a
fine.
glory stealer, glom. This is all my idea. Then you're
No,
like,
I would
"Hey,
rather-
can you?
No.
Can I be in the suit too? Oh man, it would be a super bummer if I had to get in the suit and be filmed and be the constant center of attention that Steve only is happy in.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
Exactly.
I
Thank
would
you.
prefer not to get bitten by a dog. So
Yeah, you
if I'm
say
not
that
feeling,
now.
I'm not feeling the pressure here. I'm
Listen,
not feeling
you
the
can't
pressure. here.
outrun a dog, and I can.
No, I
That's the
probably can't.
difference
No.
between
Yeah.
us.
Yeah. You're probably.
I'll outrun a pack.
I
of
have a
dogs.
completely different. Like, listen, I'm bringing the fight to the dog.
I could see that.
No.
I could see that.
I'm taking an ear.
But listen, big bull mastiff or a boer bull gets you. These are they're littler. They're not Belgian Malinois.
No,
They're-
but
I forget what breed they are.
but they are very
Very
Similar to that.
They're little small
pointy
German
eared, look like
shepherds.
Germans. Yeah,
They're quick. Not as quick as me.
I'm looking forward to it, man.
But if a bull mastiff or a boer bull got you in the shoulder and knocked you down, you'd have a hard time getting back
Oh,
up, buddy.
dude.
So just
Oh, dude,
remember
no
that.
doubt. My buddy had a King Corso. It was like,
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Cane
that
Corso.
King Corso, yeah, like his that when it stand up, his head would be like at the bar down at Molly's, like just
Those are no joke
I'm
either.
like, oh, that's you have a dragon.
Presa Canario's another one. Like there are some big bad dog breeds out there.
You're
they
full
want
of
me to run.
information. You really did watch
I-
Cesar, didn't you?
I didn't go to college for like a year and I got a dog and I was like, I'm going to learn everything about every dog breed that I possibly can.
Cool.
Like the Boer Bull, the South African Mastiff.
Okay.
If you want to see just a majestic beast that you're like, okay, that's what I need guarding my property. And they're trained to just kind of walk around your property and make sure everything's cool, man. Everything's cool. Great Pyrenees, big white sheep looking dogs that are also great protectors. They can blend in with the sheep. Where do you want me to stop?
Just wherever.
I'll stop there.
Guys, tune in tomorrow. Facebook Live. Steve getting bit. It's gonna be great.
We'll see.
Tell me a little story, buddy. Let's get back on the dad track.
Okay. Well, I got a little personal story for you. A little view of my life, who I am. You guys watch me every Friday. You've watched me probably for 3 years, my little Periscope deals. And then I had another radio show that Craig on. And then I did, I've been doing this stuff for a long time. You can tell because I'm polished. Okay. This takes time to become something like this. So I'm going to give you a little peek inside of what goes on in John Malkovich's head, AKA Stephen George Michael Elgin. So when I was a young pup, my family used to take vacations to Destin, Panama City, Fort Walton Beach. We'd get out of our comfort zone every once in a while. Mainly it was Destin. The family travels in 2 days. My dad does one of those things. My dad, let me start out by saying my dad is the ultimate dad. Like you hear me talk about my dad all the time. I love the way you talk about your dad. They're legends.
I've met George a couple times and I'm like, I like the cut of George's jib.
Oh, you and George.
George and my pop got along real well.
Oh yeah. And George is just my hero. He's my hero.
I get it, brother.
So he would wake up, he'd go to bed at 6 p.m. My mom would start the routine of like, everyone be quiet. We got to get up. Steve, do you have all your stuff packed? You got your book bag that it's accessible. And then everything that's going in the cargo, the turtle shell on top of the car and your dad's company station wagon. Like, yeah, your dad's asleep at 6. Be quiet. He's got to sleep till 1 a.m. And then he's gonna drive then, and then
that's the play through the night.
Yes,
totally.
So we would do that. We would sleep. Well, one year we decided that we'll leave early, stop somewhere about halfway, spend the night there, and then in the morning we'll go get to the place around 11 when you can check in. Boom, boom, bada bing, bada boom. We're in. Because we'd always show up kind of at weird times when you leave that early. You try to plan it, but when you're driving 13 hours straight, you're like, oh, it accidentally took me 15. Or my dad would be like, oh, it took us 10 or 3 hours early. I'm like, yeah, you drove 96 miles an hour. You averaged.
You get on that Florida Turnpike though.
And my dad's like, hey, hand me a brew from the back. That's a statute of limitations. They get pulled over by an Alabama State Trooper. I love old school dads are like, Jesus Christ, when they get pulled over. And I'm like, yes, sir, no, sir. My dad was always like, oh, what did you have anything better to do? You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, oh, Dad, you got a big old set on you, don't you? All right. I see you. I see what's happening. So we end up stopping in Gatlinburg, I believe. So we find nothing special. It's got it's a regular hotel, got a pool. We're hanging out. Well, my dad is exhausted, right? No, I'm probably 5 to 7, somewhere in that. I think we went to Disney World when I was 5, so I'm probably 6, 7, maybe 8 years old. So I packed up all my stuff. Oh, this is actually the same night something else crazy happened too. It'll lead into it now that I'm remembering everything. So we stay in this hotel room. We had never done it. And I'm a young kid. And I'm like, this is great, man. Like we're in this hotel. Let's go swimming. There's ice machines in the hallways. And well, this is wild. I don't get out much ever. This is great.
Yeah, totally.
So we're having a good old time with my
Just
dad.
being in a hotel is the greatest vacation.
Yes, man. So, and I used to get terrible stomach aches all the time. Like my intestines are horrible. Like I can only imagine what they look like on the inside. Like, oh my
water,
God.
dude.
They're bad. Yeah, that probably would have helped a lot.
Water.
I've trained myself to I don't have stomach aches anymore. I attribute it to cannabis, meditation, and just chilling the H out, man. Like that's what I think a lot of it was stress and sugar. Stress and sugar still to this day activates my gut. So we're in the hotel. We're having a good time. My dad passes out. All the lights are on. Well, he sleeps in tighty whities. You know what I mean? The old school dad. And he's just splayed out on the bed, belly down. We go swimming or whatever. I'm like, see you later, Dad. He's like, oh, falling asleep. So we come back, go swimming, come back a couple hours later. My dad's obviously passed out, laying on the bed. And I'm walking by, just having a good old time. Like, man, I can't believe I'm having the time of my life. This is the greatest vacation ever. We're staying in a hotel. I had all my stuff, like my one night bag. And I'm like, this is cool. I'm going to draw some. And so I'm hanging out and I walk by my dad and I see this purplish, reddish, just bulbous, kind of blistery pustule, like coming out of his sack. Okay.
Of his underwear.
Of his underwear.
Yeah.
But like he's laying on his stomach. So this is coming out the back region, Okay. Right? You can picture it. Okay. My dad's Greek. My dad's Greek. Okay.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Olive skin, hairy gentleman, my hero. Okay. Love this guy. So I walk by this thing and I'm like, Dad's in trouble. Dad's in trouble. Like, there's something wrong. There's something wrong with Dad. I have a full-on panic attack. Like, oh, something fell out of Dad. And the only thing holding it in is those old ratty tighty whities that have the holes at the top. I got a couple pairs like that and holes in the seams. So that's what he was wearing. Told you this is a peek into my life. And so I grab my mom, frantic, and I'm like, Mom, look at Dad. And my dad's still passed out, just like we're examining him like a creature in a laboratory. And I point, I'm like, there's something wrong with Dad. Look at that purple, veiny, kind of slightly hairy little lump sticking out of his keister area, And my mom's like, oh, honey, that's just his nutsack. And I'm like, oh, okay, fair enough. I didn't know those got big enough or purple enough to stick out the backside of your underwear. And my dad woke up the next morning, drove us to Florida, and that guy was a provider and a half. I don't want to let this ball story sway you in some direction on my dad.
What else did it lead to?
Oh God, that night. Oh God. Okay, so later that night, I had only brought like a pair of underwear, and the pair of underwear I was wearing, one was for a change of clothes. Sure. The only reason I vividly remember this story, and it was in the same hotel, is because I had a Atlanta Falcons shirt on. For some reason, I had
about the time of the Dirty Bird, maybe.
It was before that.
Jamal Anderson, maybe.
It was like when the Falcons were not popular. That's why I had the shirt. You know what I mean? Like
I got you.
Like they showed it at Walmart. They're like, yeah, we sell 4 other teams here. The Lightning are big. Yeah, buy some Lightning.
Maybe before we had the Rams. So
yeah, maybe Atlanta. Were they have France? No, they've been around for a while. So it's a long shirt. I'm just wearing a little underwear, little boys underwear, and a long shirt.
Okay.
Well, I get a tummy ache and I shart. So I'm down one pair of underwear. Okay. My dad's still splayed out. I get one pair of underwear down. Okay. So I'm watching TV. I'm a night owl. I'm a total night owl. I hang out for a while longer.
Is any of this radio appropriate? I have no idea.
So I'm a night owl, baby. And we're going to end up, we got a guest in here who got kicked off the radio. We're going to end up getting kicked off the radio. So
in Rome.
I put on my dirty underwear and I'm like, this is gross. Well, a little bit later, I'm just watching TV and this one like fell out of me. It wasn't like, I'm going to test it. It was like juice and it was like clearish, like it was gross. So I took those off. And so now I'm in no underwear. Okay. So I use the restroom a few times.
Oh, now you're walking a tightrope. You are walking a tightrope, sir.
I've never practiced a tightrope, Craig.
You are Nick Walinda.
So I go and I'll never forget it. I'm sitting in the hotel chair. The beds there, they have those hotel chairs that kind of swivel. It's like a kind of a lounger, but not really. It's like a circle chair.
Yeah.
Like half arms go around up to your back. And I'm like, oh, and I got this shirt under my legs, right? And it's like, remember Six Flags Tidal Wave? Like I'm on the bridge. Like my chode is the bridge of the tidal wave. Okay. So it comes splashing out into this shirt. Okay. So a little gets on the chair and I'm like, Mom, I'm freaking out because I don't know what to do. And she's like, well, stand up. And I'm like, I can't stand up. This is all going to leak out onto the floor. And she's like, stand up. Just hold your things like this. So I had to walk to the bathroom and I'm going to do this for the Facebook Live with it like the shirt tucked up like this, and then to walk to the bathroom and literally dump it like into the toilet and then hop in the shower. I was naked.
There's never been a story told like this ever on terrestrial radio.
I've never felt more Catholic guilt and shame in all my life.
And it's bred
because
into
my
us.
mom was going, "You dirty little pig! You pooped your pants again! You dirty little piglet!" And I was like, "Jesus, my stomach hurts." No, she didn't say that. She was very supportive. She would sit out the bathroom door with me, going.
She did Lamaze with you?
So I was versed in Lamaze even before. Bring it back, Dad. Around. My mom's a great person too. When I would have tummy aches, she would sit outside the bathroom. I'd be like, "My stomach hurts," and she'd be like, "Just breathe, honey. Just breathe. Eat this fruit roll up. Just breathe." Little Sprite ought to do you good.
Oh man, dad's just the old guard.
I know.
The old dads, like
The
their
South
home
City
was
dad.
their little bungalow was their castle. You know,
And vacation. Did you guys
And
take a
we-
vacation?
oh yeah, we and it was always kind of tied in, like, you know, my dad's company would have like a
Vacation dad is great.
convention or something, you know, so we were always at some pretty cool resort. And what was neat about that was it's family business, so it was usually, you know, he and his brothers and then my cousin. So it was always a fun time. It was a fun time for sure. But dads, they're the king of their castle, you know. Like, it's like the emperor has no clothes, right? Well, like sometimes that's a literal thing. Like I can't tell you how many of my buddies' dads I've seen in those very same tidy whities.
Oh, sure.
That's just how they roll.
They don't care.
Except for mine.
Okay.
I'm at my buddy's house down at the end of my block, right? And this is probably, it's a summer night, probably, you know, 6:30, something like that, you know. And I'm walking home and I see this group of girls that I go to grade school with, like four of them, right?
Cool chicks.
Yeah, they were cool. We were such a small class that, dude, like to this day,
or were they the nerds and you shunned
to this
them?
day, like there was only, you know, geez, like 17 in
Yeah,
our
I
graduating
know.
class.
I'm
We're
with
like
ya.
brothers
I'm
and
with ya,
sisters,
yeah.
man. Like to this day, we're still
Who all
very
get with
much
each other.
friends, kind of weird. That didn't. We weren't hypersexual kids. That's not a.
That
thing.
surprises me.
Yeah, I know.
Very surprising.
I was like one of those flowers that just like stays budded up and then it just fucking.
A corpse orchid and it stinks.
Stinks something fierce. Stinks something fierce. I'm walking home from my buddy's house. It's a nice hot summer night. I think it was maybe even like a Saturday. So my dad been like barbecuing out back and everything. So he maybe caught a little day buzz watching the ball game.
Sure. That's my favorite dad.
Oh, best dad. Best dad.
Cooking dad, drinking dad,
Best
baseball dad.
That's the dad.
That's the dad.
That's the dad, baby. And like, so I'm walking home and I see they don't see me. Like they're in eye shot, but they're looking at they're like walking up the stairs to my house. And they knock on the door or whatever. And I'm like, oh, wonder what they're doing. Or
So you can see them.
I can see them at my door, but
Sure.
they don't see me. But it'll only take me. And I see my dad answer the door. And like, I learned how to cover that block as fast as anybody could cover that block. Like I could get from my house to my buddy's house and back in a second, you know? And so like, I see the door opening and I see my dad and he's just lounging. Dad's lounging in nothing but these leopard bikini briefs, just answering the door for whoever. Doesn't like check to see who's there. And like, dude, it's these classmates of mine. And I'm like, I just hit hyperdrive. Like I'm sprinting. I'm like, what are you doing? Go to bed, you freak. Like, this is how you answer doors and like I am, you know,
And he has no shame, I'm sure.
He's like, he just woke up from a nap. Like,
there's a little Asian kid in the background.
He's like, hey girls. And I'm like, and as I'm getting closer, like my dad, handsome guy, you know,
Oh, definitely.
curly dark hair, big thick mustache.
How tall is he?
6'2", probably.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
look a lot like that.
Yeah.
You know, he was you know, full bush, and so like so you know you got, and I'm like, my worst absolute nightmare is happening in front of my eyes, which is like at this point, girls are not like really on my
Dar.
They're not on my radar yet. Like
We call it Dar.
like, but at the same time, like it definitely feels good if a girl would pay attention to me.
Play with your wee wee.
Pay attention to me.
Oh, sorry.
Yes, pay attention to
Sorry.
me. And here's four girls that are clearly coming to give attention to me. And Dad opens up and he's got buckwheat and a leg lock. Got a little leopard print, ski mask on.
Yeah.
Anyway, dads, man, they're the kings of their castle. I couldn't have got there. I'm like
Okay.
jump in front of the girls.
Oh my God,
Let's jump to break.
But I was gonna say there's a little Asian kid in the background throwing fireworks, and it's playing Jesse's Girl super loud on the radio. He's like, "What's up, girl?"
You guys here for the party?
Yeah. No, Dirk
That didn't
Diggler
happen.
shows up in a Corvette outside. Like, what's happening? Girls, come with me.
Guys, thanks for indulging us. This is Hoosier Sophisticate. Stick around. On the other side of the break, we're going to bring in an
Lousy.
old pal,
Oh,
Peoria Plowboy, our guy, coming in studio. This is Hoosier Sophisticate on WGNU 920 AM. We'll catch you on the other side of the break.
WGNU is streaming live on WGNU920am.com. Click on Listen Live to satisfy your audible needs or watch live to see all those faces for radio in action. You can also listen to past shows, featured interviews, and download the free WGNU phone app. You can take us everywhere you go. WGNU920am.com. Point, click, and listen live.
Lifetime. Yeah. It lasts a lifetime. Come on. It lasts a lifetime. Yeah. And just go Google it. I wanna lay those shingles down, girl, for you. I wanna lay those shingles down, boy, for you. I'm gonna do some siding, get you excited. James Hardy siding. Google it. Roof up for a lifetime. You know I make your neighbors cry. Boo, cause we tell all the leaks go bye. And you know we all do the side. James Hardy boy, yeah.
Guys, Lifetime Roofing. They're the best roofers in the game. Best customer service. LifetimeSTL.com. Google them. Listen, insurance is not something you want to gamble on.
Yeah, what my associate's trying to say is that James Carlton State Farm is really cool. You're not even going to believe it. Like, let's say you're driving along on the road with your family, and you're driving along, patch of ice, can't quite stop, boom, you bump into the guy next to you. James Carlton's got somebody out there ready to take care of you 24/7. You call them at 314-961-4800. Now, here's what happens with the other guy's insurance. You're driving along, kids are in the backseat. Daddy, I got to go to the bathroom. Not now, damn it. Ice. You can't stop. Here comes the adjuster. Adjuster gets out. He says, oh, my God. New guy's in the corner puking his guts out. All because you want to save a couple extra pennies. To me, it just doesn't make much sense.
Guys, check out carltoninsurance.net, 314-961-4800. If your insurance is costing you a leg and an arm, call James Carlton State Farm.
Say word. Last February, we held our first Hoosier Tattoo Day at Tower Classic Tattooing in the Grove. And I got to tell you, a lot of really sweet art happened on that day. Everyone who showed up left very happy with their new tattoo. The artist did everything they could to ensure everything, from the drawing to the application itself, was perfected and exceeded the expectations of each individual client. We packed the house, and the artist remained cool as a cucumber the whole time. If you got the itch to get inked, visit Tower Classic Tattooing, located at 4146 Manchester in the Grove. Check out their artist profiles at towerclassic.com.
Hey there, Krager.
Well, hey, Steve.
How you doing, buddy?
Man, I've been pretty good.
Well, that's good. Hey, you heard anything about them newfangled hemp oils they got now?
I just don't know where to find a good one.
Well, I find the best full spectrum hemp oil from MomedCanco.com.
Where?
I get it from MomedCanco.com.
Is it expensive?
It don't cost 2 kittens whiskers. And if you enter HOSO in the promo box, you're going to get yourself 15% off.
buddy. It sounds like we're squatting tall cotton.
Darn right we are.
Where can I find them?
You can find them online, momedcanco.com, Missouri Medical Cannabis Company.
Thanks, buddy. Yeah.
Dear Vet Ticks, it was nice to spend the night with my daughter and other veterans. It's so humbling to attend an event when you feel appreciated.
I had a wonderful time with my family. Thank you for the memories, Vet Ticks.
Dear Vet Ticks, thank you for a great experience and for your support of the military and veterans.
Thank you so much, Vet Ticks. Our family has gone through a lot the last few years, and this gave us a nice break.
Every empty seat at a concert, game, or special event is a missed opportunity to say thank you to a veteran or a service member. By giving your extra tickets to Vet Ticks, you'll help America's heroes reduce stress, strengthen family bonds, and create a truly happy memory that will last a lifetime. So when you really want to say thank you for your service, give the experience, give the memory. Vet Ticks. Give something to those who gave. For more information on how you can make a difference, go to vettix.org.
You can get an insurance quote anywhere. What people are really looking for is someone to help manage the risk of everyday life. And that's exactly what James Carlton State Farm does. He's also dangerously handsome.
He has a dream in disguise. James Carlton has the best customer service in the game. You'll never get a voicemail, and you'll always get a great back rub. He has the softest hands.
A strong sense of community is important to who he is as an agent. From local school sponsorships to sandbagging during floods, it's paramount to be a part of the community.
We love the cut of his jib. Guys, call 314-961-4800. Find him online at carltoninsurance.net.
We wish he was our dad.
Hoosier Sophisticate with Craig Kohler and Stephen Elgin.
Was convicted LSD kingpin to best-selling author Seth Ferranti.
I was in prison. I was really writing for my peers. I wasn't writing for the street. I was with like Italian mafia dudes. I was with like Colombian cocaine cartel dudes. And, all those dudes, there were books about that, guys. But a lot of the African-American gangsters, gangster rap was really big in this time, mid-90s.
Oh, yeah.
You just heard their names and everybody was talking about them. And, I'm on these compounds and there's these myths and legends. So that's why I decided to write about them.
Hoosier Sophisticate, Fridays from 6 to 8 p.m. on WGNU.
A person who thinks all the time has nothing to think about except thought. So he loses touch with reality and lives in a world of illusion.
Welcome back, St. Louis. Let's get your mind right with Craig Kohler and Stephen Elgin. This is Hoosier Sophisticate on WGNU.
I'm not saying that thinking is bad. Like everything else, it's useful in moderation. And all so-called civilized peoples have increasingly become crazy and self-destructive. Through excessive thinking, they have lost touch with reality.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Hoosier Sophisticate here on WGNU 920 AM. You stream us live at WGNU920am.com, Facebook Live, YouTube, Mycelial Media. Check out the channel, like and subscribe, follow along. It feels like old times in here right now.
Oh, it does.
It feels like old times
Santa
in here.
Santa is really real. Santa is really real, my friend. Remember that? Great song.
I just listened to that episode a week ago.
So
and
good.
It's gold. That's the Changing Stations radio gold. Craig talked a lot less. It was a great
It was a much better, less me, more Steve, a lot of Plowsy.
Hey,
It was a perfect setup.
Missouri Medical Cannabis Company allows us to bring friends like Plowsy. He helped me get my start.
Totally.
We had Cooley Vapes. That's where I met Blake on the Changing Station with Darren. So it's a real honor to have you in the studio, buddy. You've seen me grow. I've seen you grow.
My little pupils have turned into really great. You guys are absolutely killing it, by the way.
Dude, thank you.
I keep track of your guys' YouTube channels, your Facebook, all the stuff. Fantastic. You guys are a blessing. And I love being back in the Old Hampton studios. Feels great.
He's a pro.
He is.
Been on radio long enough to know how I roll, man.
But Missouri Medical Cannabis Company helps put all this together, momedcanco.com. Craig, tell them what they can
Hey,
do.
if you enter HOSO at checkout, you get 15% off everything site-wide. They've got some new massage oil. They got the hemp honey. Guys, the highest quality hemp oil you're going to buy. We know it's real, right? There was a lot of bunk stuff floating around. One of the things most important to us, we talk about a lot of cannabis and how it might help people. If we're going to have a sponsor that is going to be related to hemp, we're going to go find someone that's actually, we know where they're getting good quality medicine. Missouri Medical Cannabis Company makes it possible. And how funny is that on our old show, the very mention of CBD was almost a fireable offense because we were trying to talk sports, but they wanted us to talk sports.
And so you can point to that movement and that momentum to show that it's growing and growing rapidly. Now you're willing to openly talk about it without, kind of that taboo, I love it. I love it. And you guys, like I said, are in the forefront. So once this becomes legal, once you guys are able to make money, you guys are going to make a killing.
Oh,
and I'll just be there. I'll be your driver. I'll be a little chauffeur.
You're going to be my
show
mule.
to show.
I've seen how much you can fit inside of you, and sir, we'll be carrying pounds across the border.
Oh, I'm really
allegedly,
allegedly, really loose cheeked.
But if you don't know, Darren, he was on the morning show at 590, 590 a.m. The AM radio is alive and well.
Love it.
And I would say you were probably the number one cannabis advocate being heard by the most amount of people.
Absolutely.
Without you even realizing it at the time, because all of the hosts, Tim McKernan, Doug Vaughn, Jimmy the Cat Hayes, all just glorious people. I owe so much to that show.
They are unbelievable.
Everything to that show. I am from the McKernan coaching tree. Like, I love TMA with all of my heart. Cucky the Dwarf, that's where he was all dreamed up on your show. He had a show in the morning.
The first pitch, baby.
Oh my God. And they were ranking Disney princesses.
Yes.
And I was like, well, I'm the 8th dwarf Cucky who sits at the foot of the bed and watches Snow White and the prince do they thing. And so the next day I was
one of the best text fans of all time.
They saved me as that. I texted into TMA and they're like, that comes from Cucky the Dwarf. And I'm like, it does? I'm like, oh, I forgot about that already. But I mean, you guys get so many downloads. It's crazy. And they would ask you all the questions about cannabis. How, we're going to talk a little bit about cannabis here. How has cannabis played a role in your life?
Are you talking to me personally? Okay. Yeah. I thought you were just giving an example. Absolutely. I mean, for me, I started smoking cannabis my sophomore year in high school. At that time, I had, 1.5 GPA, skipping a lot of classes. Didn't really have that set friend group, kind of just, that outcast, so to say, trying to fit in. It's high school. It's bigger than, your elementary school. A lot of new people.
And the kids who don't fall right in line. Let's ostracize them.
And I may have started because of peer pressure. Some people do that. But right when I started smoking, everything changed. My personality began, I began to become more open of a person. I'm a people person now. I wasn't at the beginning. My grades improved dramatically. I wouldn't have thought about going to college, freshman or sophomore year in high school until I started smoking. So I think that helped motivate me, and I know there's a bad stigma on it. I knew at the time, you can't tell everybody you smoke, and you even pulling out the positives of smoking, people just say, oh, you're addicted. That's the blanket statement that was, thrown at me and thrown at all of us for years. And so it is nice now to see the older generation like Doug Vaughn and those guys talking
Throw his
to
name
them
out there. He's very pro cannabis.
And realizing that it's not just my generation that wants to change for, medical cannabis and legal cannabis. There are a lot of people that, business, executives, people you may not know. So I think now the word of mouth has actually changed, and I think it's actually going to change for the better. But certainly it changed my life. I mean, I couldn't imagine. I would definitely not be in St. Louis nor ever think about radio before smoking. So I think it's been a big part of my life. It affects people differently. If you had a bad experience, I understand that. Just please don't judge me for what I do in my spare time, because it's certainly not affecting anybody else. So.
Yeah, you're a sinner. I get it. It's simple.
I'll go to hell. That's fine. That's fine.
That's funny that you mentioned that, because it's, the big boys are starting to get into the cannabis game. It's becoming more regular. We got Cooley Vapes was our sponsor, and they're like, what do you smoke out of that? And we're like, legal concentrate. And they're like, okay. And we're like, really? And then we were like,
so now you can explain it more. It's
yeah. And then we were like, it's CBD. And they're like, that's a weed plant. They're like, can't be doing that on the show. And I'm like, we can't. And that's even in my infancy in finding out about cannabis. I had to learn about the endocannabinoid system. And we had to have Tom Mundell and Jeff Mazansky on the show, and Blake Bell and Robbie Basil and Stephanie Tufts, all those people to let us know that, hey, firsthand, this is a medicine. Like, no doubt. maybe it'll get your dad's ball back in its right place. You know,
And it's not just hearsay. It's not just, oh, it's there's proof, there's doctors, there's physicians, there's videos of kids with epileptic seizures, hundreds a day, going down to single digits, sometimes even eliminating them on a daily basis. So, I mean, the facts are out there, and, you know, people with money, you know, trying to line their pocket. That's mainly why this movement hasn't gone fast enough, and it's kind of state by state right now. And I'm hoping it changes for the better. And I think it will, especially in the state of Missouri.
Funny you mentioned that. I want to run this article by you guys. This was on Forbes, and it said marijuana banking bill approved by a congressional committee. A congressional committee voted on Thursday to approve legislation aimed at increasing marijuana businesses' access to banks. Following multiple days of lengthy debate and consideration of several amendments, the House Financial Services Committee voted 45-15 to advance the legislation to the full body. I always get excited at things like this, but then, you know, the way the government works, sometimes I'm like, you know, I need to go watch. I'm just a bill. I'm just a bill. Because I'm like, what are we getting done here? Because a lot of times we're like, this is for the veterans. We're going to get that. And then they're like, oh, sorry, they tried to sneak something else in there. So we had to vote it down. And, you know, Massey's always talking about how they're constantly not letting them read it, or something they slipped into a bill. It's like, hey, we need to help the people, the 9/11 first responders. And they're like, yeah, but also we got to frack too while we're there.
They always find a way to kind of slide some pork in there any way they can.
Oh yeah, and McGovern, the House Rules Committee Chairman James McGovern from Massachusetts, said in a radio interview on Wednesday that he expects the chamber to vote on legislation to end federal marijuana prohibition within a matter of weeks.
Awesome.
And they said most of the article goes on to say that most of the presidential candidates and even just political candidates are on board with reaching a full legalization aspects, like saying, hey, we just need to legalize it. Like, medicinal. Yeah. But let's legalize it.
Something to keep in mind too, though, is the way that it's set up. Even if the federal government pulls itself out, which it absolutely should, regardless, states will still be able to prohibit if they choose. I mean, there's still counties and places that are dry counties. You know what I mean? Like it's not going to guarantee that you're going to be able to get medicine wherever you're at. And that's why there's even if and when that happens, there's still a state by state battle that needs to take place in order for people to get this medicine. But one of the things is it's always a lot easier to start changing some minds. You were talking about how Posey might have been one of the biggest cannabis influencers in St. Louis on the radio, for sure. What's great about that too is that target audience is a target audience that isn't necessarily hip to it. So like that's even more powerful. You got a lot of 30 to 50-year-old guys that
people who listen to our show know.
Well, I mean, kind of. I mean, they're definitely they come from a very similar community coming in. That one, I mean, you were talking about guys that are playing golf at Old Warson. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like
who are smoking heat.
The illest and the realest.
Like golf courses are filled with it.
Oh, absolutely. And so like you got to break that initial barrier, and that was tough. You know, especially like you said, your show, you're dedicated. I mean, they're dedicated to what you guys are. You know, TMA was different to where it was not a cannabis driven show or anything like that. And so when you do bring it up, you're going to have that sect of people who love just bashing it in general. So getting through that first initial wall and stating the facts, and just knowing that when you state the facts, you're going to get a rebuttal from those haters. And you just, instead of getting mad, you kind of just counter with another point. And so you kind of just beat them down with facts. That's how you win the argument. And so there's plenty of facts.
And that's how you change the minds, dude. Like if everybody's in an echo chamber, like, are you really advancing the thought all that far?
No.
Right. But like when there's a little bit of, when you have to stand up for your beliefs, when you have to explain why it makes sense, that's where minds are changed. That's where, and maybe not the person you're directly arguing with, but if it's online or if it's broadcast, the people that are listening are like, oh no, that's a solid point. You know, that's how you're going to change minds. But the fact that it takes money, right? Like this has to be attached to a banking bill. Whenever you start to show the people that are still maybe against it, how it can financially benefit them, it makes the legalization, the decriminalization process that much easier, right? Like there's a meme floating around that says, for decades, they told us it was the gateway drug and now they want to be the dealer, and that's how baseball go. You got to talk about how it's going to benefit the big money out there in order to at least get them to not work against you. And there's still going to be people that are working against it.
Well, having banks be able to get in the
game changer,
game changer. I remember a documentary you maybe told me about on the Changing Station when we used to do streaming picks, where it was I believe it was Boulder, Colorado, where it was when it first became legal, and they had a medicinal dispensary, and it followed this couple,
Green Rush or something like
yeah,
that.
yeah, and it was like
Oh,
chronicled their whole deal. And when it became legalized, it was insane. Like the big business getting into it is it's going to be a good thing.
Well,
It's
when you
going to
need
lower the
just
prices.
when you need individual to be, $2-3 million liquid, that's hard to find people, just a regular Joe Schmo's ready
buddy.
to open up a shop.
Ain't gonna happen.
That's I'm not saying that's a monopoly, but that certainly opens more doors for the bigger businesses that may not have, the right mindset compared to the average guy just wanting to give medicine and be able to help the community rather than, double their profits or triple their profits in a given quarter. So
I'll tell you what's nice though, man, is after going to the conference, as Steve and I, get to travel these circles a little bit more and get to know more people. The little guy is very well represented in this movement. There are absolutely going to be power players, but there are refugees that had to leave this state. They went and learned to grow some of the greatest medicine on the planet, winning, cannabis cups and awards worldwide and things like that. They're coming back home. But you're right. The entry to do this, like it's hilarious for how many people say, well, I grow a great tomato. I think I could probably get into this industry. Like it ain't there for you. Don't go chasing that dream. Find a great job growing for somebody, but
Follow
don't
your dreams. Don't listen to this guy. Okay.
Yeah.
Follow your dreams.
What I'm saying is there's plenty of opportunities for that person who wants to get into it. The businesses are going to be open. The offshoots come down the road, make a little bit of money. The barrier of entry will probably be a little bit easier, especially as recreational comes on board. Adult use comes on board.
Peacemaker Defense Group. The reason they're so vital to the business now is because you do have to take copious amounts of cash to the tax offices or wherever you have to pay taxes.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where that's why I brought up that documentary. On one scene, he has to follow his girl with like $50,000 in tax money in like a suitcase. And I tell you what, I wouldn't mind Peacemaker Defense Group watching my back in more ways than one.
Absolutely.
I'm going to outrun that dog. I am going to outrun that
Did you hear what's going to happen?
No.
We're putting Steve in a bite suit tomorrow morning, and he's going to try and outrun one of the.
I think that'd be fun. My body type, though, if that even punctures a quarter of an inch, you're talking blood loss to the amount. Yeah, I like it.
All right, I got another study for you guys that it came out recently, I think, because I follow all these cannabis pages, Leafly, Weed Now This Weed or whatever. But they always have very cool articles, but some of them are kind of old. I think this one's from March 25th, 2019. And it says a Harvard study proves cannabis does not cause schizophrenia. Good news for people who have worried that smoking too much marijuana, cannabis, especially as a teenager, might lead to some dramatic problems in the future, even schizophrenia. New research from Harvard Medical School in a comparison between families with a history of schizophrenia and those without finds little support for marijuana use as a cause of schizophrenia. And that's out of Harvard University.
What's fantastic is this topic was just broached on Frank Cusimano's Hollywood Casino Press Box not but 2 days ago.
Really?
When Dr. Rick Lehman, they have him on once a week and kind of, ask them about, take some listener involvement with some ailment they're having and help, and also points out, what's, topical for that week as far as in the medical field. And he said, it's basically like overdosing on marijuana. There is a number that you can get to, but it's almost impossible. So you would have to smoke almost your body weight in order for that psychosis to really kick in. Even a heavy smoker like ourselves, it's not, it doesn't even register. And so Rick Lehman helped us out there the other day and kind of blanket statement that it's not really possible.
I like to hear Dr. Rick on
He's
there.
fantastic.
He usually gets a cannabis question or two, I feel like.
Yeah.
And he always, Frank's, I think, on board because he's talked
They're both,
to,
I know, pro-medical for sure.
Talked to the fellow with long blonde hair, football
Turley.
player,
Oh, Kyle Turley, yeah, huge fan. They've had him on a couple times.
Yeah, I think Turley changed Frank's whole mindset, in my opinion, like listening to the interview. But Dr. Rick, you can tell that he doesn't want to say too much because, I mean, we learned on this show 13% of medical schools were even teaching the endocannabinoid system, even mentioning it.
Yeah.
Mentioning
it, not even teaching
so
it.
doctors are in a tough spot too. So it's good to, it's going to become more and more prevalent, like we were saying, and doctors are starting to learn. So shout out to
Obviously, he
Dr.
goes on more of the safe side. Like I said, he's definitely pro medical, but I don't know if he would admit if he's pro recreational or not. And he's in a position to where he probably shouldn't answer that question, anyways.
Oh, we got Viva La Plowhawk on the text line.
What's up, baby?
Viva La Plowhawk.
Oh, it's fun to get back and talk some marijuana in these Hampton studios. I love it.
Yeah, your dreams are coming true, baby.
I've been to this station a few different times with two management groups. So yeah, I've been here a lot.
Yeah, speaking of management groups, let's address the elephant.
Oh,
in the
we are
room while
not
everyone's watching this. What happened?
Not addressing. It was just an issue, an internal issue that management and I had. Couldn't come to an agreement. And that was that.
Bro.
Today was my last show. It sucks. I wanted
that's a little heartbreaking.
I didn't want to.
How long you been on?
Actually, a little over 5 years. So
I
my
thought
anniversary of 5 years,
4.
about a month ago, something like that.
Wow.
And so, I mean, it's been a great ride. The memories, you can't even put a top.
Dude,
20
you're
in,
a part of thousands of people's lives, their morning routine. It's you wrote a little piece to the fans,
a love letter to the fans.
A love
I
letter
had to do a love letter.
And
Look what all they've done for me over the years.
And
man. Are you kidding me?
It's been and it when Steve and I were
Lost
reading
your
it, like both of
apartment,
us
lost your job. You should love the.
No, I'm not. I'll avoid station management, but I will say, like, a huge shout out, like that show, like, I hate to say made me who I am, but certainly got me the connections and definitely helped me out, like, as far as my career and being able to advance my career. Like, it's and the people you meet, they're thousands. Like I said on the post, you can't
Who's
name
your
them
favorite?
all. I win.
How about this personal text here? Keep the Plowhawk on the show. Love
Oh
this dude.
no, I just get in the way. I'll just get in the way. You guys already are doing a good thing. If revenue's down, I'll be the scapegoat. I don't want that.
Yeah, we
That's
want
true.
you.
That's
We want you to
totally
be in the
true.
middle, if you know what I mean. You got anything you want to say to the fans of the TMA that might be listening, or do you have maybe a top 2 or 3 moments even?
I don't I can't do a moments. I haven't, it hasn't been long enough right now. It hasn't really sunk in, it's only been hours.
Yeah.
So, I'll sit down and think about moments. I mean, there's so many and plenty, but for the listeners, I mean, it's plain and simple. They are a huge part of my life and they always will be. A huge sect of them are some of my best friends.
Totally.
I mean, I talked to 2 people in Canton, which I lived at for 20 years. And I talked to 2,000, 3,000 people in St. Louis when I lived here for 6 years. So I feel like I've created just a network of just fantastic friends. And that's all from the show. And I'm a people person, so I enjoy talking to people, but certainly the show helped that. And they were really easy and really accommodating for someone who is from a town of 10,000 coming to a city of, 2.53 million. They helped me out the whole way. I could not thank them enough. And you never know, my radio career, it's not locked. The door's shut right now.
We're locking you up. We're locking
it's
you
radio,
up now.
baby. You've seen it. I've seen it. Changes on a dime.
Are you hanging around for a little while?
I'll stay another segment. Yeah, I gotta get back to the girl. Gotta see her in a little bit.
Hang around. We're gonna do a little early version of Netflix picks, streaming picks of the week.
Yeah. I have a lot of free time on my hands that couple weeks, so I'll need some.
It was always Plowsy that came with the best picks on the changing station.
I think I have a couple for you.
Super excited about that, guys. This first hour is brought to you by James Carlton State Farm. We love him like he's our dad because he takes care of us like he's our dad.
Let's adopt him as a stepdad.
When we have a dad in an episode, it would be foolish not to mention one of the best dads in the area.
I love him, man.
James Carlton State Farm. Because not only is he a wonderful dad to his beautiful little daughter, he's just a daddy to all of his best customers.
He is. And a good daddy too.
Just the best kind of daddy, dresses well.
But you respect him.
Pretty smile, sings the boss.
Yes.
He's
cool
a dad.
dad.
He's a dad.
You don't want to disappoint this type of dad.
No.
Because he's
not going to make you look bad in public. He's not going to embarrass you in public. He's the cool dad.
Yeah, he's cool in the cool way too. Not I'm the cool dad. Look at me. He's I'm going to let you be you.
That's right.
And
accept it.
I'm going to let you make your choices.
Yes.
And then you're going to make some wrong ones, and I'll still love you after.
And I'm going to steer the ship right. 314-961-4800. Give James Carlton a call. Hey, if you have a driver 16 to 24 right now, his rates are probably going to beat everybody. That's an expensive age to insure. He's got some ways to save you a bunch of money. They're very competitive on the rates. Call 314-961-4800. CarltonInsurance.net. God, George is still in my head from the first.
Don't go to .net, please.
CarltonInsurance.net. .nut is his startup that just happened tomorrow. It's actually a Camster. This is
George.nut
on WGNU 920. Stick around to the other side of the break.
serving the greater St. Louis area. WGNU, Granite City.
The good people of St. Louis City can be quite sophisticated.
Here we are in a universe that has nothing in common with us. We're just a sort of cosmic fluke. And therefore, the only hope for mankind is to beat this irrational universe into submission.
And at other times, pretty Hoosier as well.
I tried this one chili and it set my mouth on fire and I had to drink a 2-liter of Mountain Dew.
Hoosier Sophisticate with Craig Kohler and Stephen Elgin. Fridays from 6 to 8 p.m. on WGNU 920 and streaming live at WGNU920am.com.
Say word. Last February, we held our first Hoosier Tattoo Day at Tower Classic Tattooing in the Grove, and I gotta tell you, a lot of really sweet art happened on that day. Everyone who showed up left very happy with their new tattoo. The artist did everything they could to ensure everything, from the drawing to the application itself, was perfected and exceeded the expectations of each individual client. We packed the house, and the artist remained cool as a cucumber the whole time. If you got the itch to get inked, visit Tower Classic Tattooing, located at 4146 Manchester in the Grove. Check out their artist profiles at towerclassic.com.
You can get an insurance quote anywhere. What people are really looking for is someone to help manage the risk of everyday life. And that's exactly what James Carlton State Farm does. He's also dangerously handsome.
He has the dreamiest eyes.
James Carlton has the best customer service in the game. You'll never get a voicemail, and you'll always get a great back rub.
He has the softest hands.
A strong sense of community is important to who he is as an agent. From local school sponsorships to sandbagging during floods, it's paramount to be a part of the community.
We love the cut of his jib.
Guys, call 314-961-4800. Find him online at carltoninsurance.net.
We wish he was our dad.
Hey there, sophisticated Hoosiers. Have you been to our website? Visit HoosierSophisticate.com and listen to our uncensored podcast. Share some laughs with us. Send us fan mail so we can feel warm and special. Buy our merchandise so that we can eat. Wear your Hoosier Sophisticate t-shirt at social gatherings and let the women approach you. Wear it around the office and get that big promotion instead of Ted. That's right. Screw Ted. Ted sucks. That's HoosierSophisticate.com.
Hey there, Krager.
Well, hey, Steve.
How you doing, buddy?
Man, I've been pretty good.
Well, that's good. Hey, you heard anything about them newfangled hemp oils they got now?
I just don't know where to find a good one.
Well, I find the best full-spectrum hemp oil from MomedCanco.com.
Where?
I get it from MomedCanco.com.
Is it expensive?
It don't cost 2 kittens whiskers. And if you enter HOSO in the promo box, you're going to get yourself 15% off.
Buddy, it sounds like we're squatting tall cotton.
Darn right we are.
Where can I find them?
You can find them online, MomedCanco.com, Missouri Medical Cannabis Company.
Thanks, buddy. Yeah.
Lifetime.
Yeah.
It lasts a lifetime.
Come on.
It lasts a lifetime.
Yeah.
And just go Google it. I wanna let those shingles down, girl, for you. I wanna let those shingles down, boy, for you. I'm gonna do some siding, get you excited. James Hardy siding. Google it.
Roof that for a lifetime. You know I make your neighbors cry. Boo, boo. Cause we tell all the leaks go bye. And you know we all do the side.
James Hardy boy, yeah. Guys, Lifetime Roofing. They're the best roofers in the game. Best customer service. LifetimeSTL.com. Google them.
Hey Hoosiers, Greg Kohler here. With home buying season heating up, be sure to get a quote from a top agency and provider of the #1 home insurer in North America. They offer coverage that's second to none. In fact, if your AC goes out, they offer a new endorsement where you can get a replacement from a local HVAC company. Give them a call, 314-961-4800. If you get a machine and you don't talk to a person, we'll give you one of these fine Hoosier Sophisticate tees. Just takes one phone call or apply online at carltoninsurance.net. People do business with James because they like and trust him. Just check him out on Google and Facebook. If your insurance is costing you a leg and an arm, then call James Carlton State Farm.
Hoosier Sophisticate with Craig Kohler and Stephen Elgin.
Joining us now is psychic detective Todd Segal.
I'm a psychic that actually specializes in investigation, missing person cases. You know, what was really weird was I did see what I thought were ghosts. I felt certain things about people that were just really off about them, but they came true. Those are the kind of things that happened to me as a kid, but I paid no attention to it.
Hoosier Sophisticate, Fridays from 6 to 8 p.m. on WGNU.
I think really the worth in these psychedelics is simply that they allow you to triangulate upon reality. I mean, in other words, if all you've got is awake and asleep, you can't go far with that. But if you've got awake, asleep, and DMT as points, you can build a much more dimensionally rich model of consciousness.
Welcome back, St. Louis. Let's get your mind right with Craig Kohler and Stephen Elgin. This is Hoosier Sophisticate on WGNU.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Hoosier Sophisticate here on WGNU 920 AM. Stream us live, WGNU920am.com, Facebook Live, YouTube, Mycelial Media, all major podcasting platforms. Find us. We have a lot of fun. We're joined here with our buddy Plowsy still.
Teddy Graham says, Plowsy.
What up, Teddy Graham?
My guy.
What up, Teddy Graham? I'm trying to find this.
Warden of the North.
Plowsy was always, I think, the MVP of the segment.
What segment, Craig?
We like movies, so do we. We like internet, so do you. It's the streaming picks of the week in Netflix. It's the streaming picks of the week and Amazon. It's the streaming picks of the week. We like the internet too.
Beautiful. It's better than what we had.
That's what we had.
That's what we had. It was just Netflix, not streaming. But there's just so many
we changed
platforms
it.
now. There's just so many platforms to get great shows. Steve, you want to lead us off? You want me to lead us off?
I am going to lead off because when my dad used to coach my baseball team, shout out to George, he never missed a darn practice, or I think he missed 3 games in my entire life, and I played all the sports because I was athletic as a steed could get. Shout out to George. But here's the deal. I've been watching True Detective.
Ooh, buddy.
I watched season 1. One of my favorite series of all.
Season 1 of True Detective
Woody
is
Harrelson
and Matthew McConaughey.
Matthew McConaughey, the Lizard King. No. The Yellow King. The Yellow King. Remember?
Okay.
But that was a thrilling ride.
Yes.
Second one, Vince Vaughn. I'm not a fan. I don't know. I'm sorry. He's just this guy every time. I talk like this, and I'm this guy. I talk fast, and I'm funny, and then I say something over here, and now I'm talking this, and he had to play this different character. I didn't buy it.
Yeah, it just wasn't as good.
I
I actually like Vince Vaughn a lot and had high hopes.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay, good.
and
It's
like
good
it
to
just
hear.
just
Good to
wasn't as
hear I
good.
didn't poo-poo on it just
No.
because I don't like
The great
it.
Charlie Marlowe thinks season 1 of True Detective is the best season of any series of all time.
He might be right.
Might be
He
right.
might be right.
Time
It's
is a
up
flat
there.
circle.
I saw it and it's fantastic. Yeah, I had to watch it again because it is.
Oh yeah,
it's a different watch than what I'm used to as far as TV series are concerned. Very serious roles for both. you know?
yeah. Matthew McConaughey was deep.
I mean,
and
I just
dark.
watched Kingpin the other day, and it's like, it's like, huh?
Buddy.
Fantastic movie, by the way.
I don't want to get Munson out here in the middle of nowhere. What'd you say?
Sooner.
That guy- that has so many good quotes.
Oh,
Love
I think it's one of the. I think it's That was actually one of
What
those
is it about
Exorcist moments.
great sex? It always makes you have to take a big dump.
Oh, that ain't great.
You really knocked something loose,
I love the
Tiger.
Amish guy. You said your average was a 280. Yeah, we play 15 frames.
Exactly.
So
10 frames, that's for Quakers. We could just sit here and quote Kingpin all night.
Do you know what the new season of True Detective is about?
I have not watched
I
any
haven't,
of it.
but I heard it's really good.
Okay, the lead actor, who I don't know his name, but I see if I can get it real quick. I don't know.
Oh, he's fantastic in Green Book.
He is.
I haven't watched that yet. Is that good?
Yeah, I mean, if you like it, then you're racist.
Oh, okay.
That's what the internet says. But I absolutely
enough.
loved it. You know, I don't know the full story, so for me, I thought it was absolutely fantastic. That they have left parts out, I get why you're frustrated. But I just
you don't know the story.
Yes, I
So
go to the
you're being
movies for
told,
entertainment.
You're being told the story right there.
Yes. So yeah, the internet's in an uproar. I found it to be the best movie I watched all year. And you get his name? I tried to stall enough for you. Tucker.
Mahershala Ali.
Yeah, I knew you're gonna have a tough one with that. I think you got it right though.
And Steven Dorff is the other guy in it. from
Okay.
Blade fame.
Yeah, sure.
But let me give you the just a quick synopsis. It follows 3 time periods when Mahershala Ali is older, middle-aged, and then younger.
Okay.
Like 20s. And he's a detective, obviously. Him and Steven Dorff. And it's a missing children's report.
Okay.
They're in charge of, I don't want to give too much away. I'm only in episode 3 though, so I probably can't give too much away, but they're looking for these missing kids. And then they find all this ritualistic stuff along the way, like dolls made of
almost cultish.
Very, very, very almost making me think at episode 3 beginning that they're taking it in some sort of child trafficking direction. It takes place in Arkansas. They mentioned Springfield a few times. They mentioned St. Louis a few times. So it has a very
local feel.
Yes.
Okay.
And I think it takes place in the 70s or 80s. So it has that grimy feel to it.
Yeah.
If you're in for you're going to want to binge it because it's a mystery.
Yeah.
So if you're in for kind of not intense really, but a grimy
mind bender.
Yeah. And it takes you on a ride.
Because the first one's a mind bender. The first season is like
not as much as that yet, but
Okay.
I could see it maybe getting that way with all this ritualistic stuff. So if you haven't seen True Detective, I recommend check out the season that's on right now on HBO. I get it on Amazon. And then season 1, which is awesome. And even give season 2 a watch if you
for sure. Yeah, for sure. I mean, HBO for the most part, I haven't watched a show that hasn't entertained me. You know, like I definitely love stories more than maybe my favorite show ever, you know, especially now that Game of Thrones is up there, but Rome on HBO was one of my all-time favorite 2 seasons of just a beautiful story. The way they tell the Julius Caesar story so beautifully and so in such a cool, different way. But my pick.
Can I read these real quick?
Yeah, of course.
From our sponsors, it said, "Nice run, Plowsy from Lifetime Roofing." Roof. Thank you.
Thank
Integrity
you.
is the only guy on there. Nice run, Plowsy. All the best in your next adventures. Want a job? So we got sponsors already wanting to hire.
And if they're sponsoring
Plowsy.
this show, then they are smart people. So
You
I
get to-
appreciate the kind words. I really do appreciate it.
Craig's gal is a big fan of yours, which I like that.
Yeah,
a
me too.
lot.
We can
She
make
is a
that work.
Big
She
fan.
basically runs your guys' whole page and is doing a damn good job of it
She
too.
does.
And we wanted to. Seth is on the line here. He's on the Facebook Live, and he says, "What up, Plowboy? And have I been replaced?" Yes, that's why we're making an announcement here shortly.
It's a trend here in St. Louis Radio. We're making an announcement shortly.
Get out of here.
Give you as little notice as possible. Seth.
And Christy, our gal Christy from South City, says, "Y'all add a spot on the website for your streaming picks yet? I love them."
All right, we're on it. We got to do it. My streaming pick this week is actually an older movie. I was in like a real Guy Ritchie mood.
Boy,
you
I have
know
not gotten
Why?
in that mood.
I just I wanted to watch. I wanted to watch Snatch or
You were like wearing capri pants and
Yeah.
talking like a little
like old Greg.
Love it.
No,
love it,
but
love it.
I was feeling like a Snatch or Lock, Stock, but I've seen those so many times.
were
And this
feeling
is
like a
this is
Snatch.
not this is not Guy Ritchie, but it's very Guy Ritchie-ish. Layer Cake. It's on Netflix.
They want me to watch that in Frontier.
Have you never
Man, or
seen it?
Frontier
Like, it
with
was made-
Ben Affleck. Don't make me. I don't want to watch it.
Okay.
Quit putting it in my face, Netflix.
Layer-
I can't take it.
I watched it. I watched
Layer Cake. They haven't really shoved down my throat yet, even though I
Layer
want them
Cake
to.
it's got a very Snatch feel to it. It's kind of a
Bond.
it is Daniel Craig. It's also
love that guy.
young Tom Hardy is in it.
young Tom Hardy. He got
Tom
young.
Hardy. He got
Is he
younger.
sexier?
Oh, he might be.
Oh man,
He
is
might
a
be.
dream.
he's a
boat.
dreamboat, man. He's
He-
unbelievable.
He is just. He's built. He's chiseled out of marble. He's got traps that are like this.
I know. He's just a. But he talks.
Isn't it amazing? Obviously, with money,
Tom Hardy.
you're able to have that trainer,
Sure.
and it's amazing how chiseled some of these actors are. I
Dude.
am just thoroughly impressed with how perfect, and I'm talking everything, the jawline all the way down. It's fantastic. I would look like crap even with money. I
don't think
respect
so.
that.
I think they would stack you out. Have you seen Dave Chappelle? Dave
He looked
Chappelle
good.
is.
Oh, that is true.
Dave Chappelle is
They do
yoked
make
Dr.
now.
Dre.
Oh, Dr. Dre.
I
is-
saw.
he blew up.
I saw an episode of the show where they turn the chairs around and sing.
The Voice.
And Adam Levine was like, it was like his first season. He had like a white T-shirt on. He looked like me. I'm like, get out of here,
And
you
then
idiots.
you see him in the Super Bowl. It's like,
And he's
oh, you added
veins
50
popping out,
pounds.
and I had to be
and-
subjected to his nipples. Disgusting.
Did you write the FCC?
Disgusting.
You're like,
no.
there's something
They're
different
like,
about this guy.
yeah, guy, we got a few complaints about it, but we're sifting through a pile of this St. Louis radio show that was talking about his dad's
Yeah, you can say it.
testy. His testy.
See, this is a weird spot for me because I don't know about Maroon. I don't listen to his music, so I can't judge.
Oh,
But
you can
he
judge.
reminds me of a guy that is getting the tattoos, but not really either wanting them or understanding what he's getting. I feel like
You think
Yeah,
he's a
there's a
billboard?
I feel like he's not really a full-blown tattoo guy, but he knows his audience is feeling that, the 15, 16, 18-year-old girls who love Maroon 5. I feel like he gets the tattoos, but not really
To sell
feeling
albums?
The tattoos.
He's getting
more
tattoos
so
to sell albums?
Just my thought. It just seems like he's more of a
think it's
clean-cut
fair.
guy.
He goes into the tattoo parlor and he's like, oh,
That would be
come
great.
on, Here, I get a
Blind
dub.
pick.
He's just ripping in. He's ripping in on his Harley.
Brand new.
Sunday morning rain is falling. Still some cover. Share some skin.
I'm so hard, ladies.
Okay.
I love Craig just for that answer right there. Okay.
Plowsy, what you been watching, buddy?
I'll pick one because it's been a while, and so I know everything that I've
been a while.
seen, you probably either brought up into a previous streaming. So I'll make sure to get one that you probably
listen to all the
haven't.
shows, you know.
I haven't listened to all of them, but The Reckoning on Hulu is one of the best ones I've seen. It's very dark.
What is that?
It's about Harvey Weinstein. It's an in-depth. You're talking interviews with some
Oh.
of the biggest Hollywood starlets and stars. I know, like I said, it's dark, and you got to go that route sometimes. It's tremendous. All the information that even is not really out online, that is in this documentary. It's absolutely phenomenal.
Do they show Harvey's Weinstein?
They don't, but they do. They do play.
There
some-
was a sketch drawing from when they reported it to the cops.
There's a couple audio bits that will make you cringe. It's not for the lighthearted. This is for the more.
What's it called?
It's called The Reckoning.
Yeah, I got to stay away from that.
I was going to say, I said it's not for everybody. I knew it's something you probably wouldn't have brought
Yeah.
up on the show. I like
You
to go
nailed it.
different.
You do.
Remember the Galapagos affairs?
Buddy, one of the best.
Nobody would have thought that
No.
would have worked.
You
and
get
it
deep
was
too, because I have to like actually search the titles. That it's never on a front page, even through a scroll. I'm not
It's-
getting to it.
And I have another. I've already brought up The Deuce, which is a great series on Netflix, or not on Netflix, excuse me, HBO Go. It's about the 60s and 70s, the startup of, you know what I'm talking about.
I saw the preview for it.
Yes.
What's it called?
The Deuce. James Franco is in it. It's absolutely unbelievable. It's on its
Is it like
third
the startup of
season,
the
I
porn
think.
industry, or-
Yes, it's
Yeah.
starting in the porn industry, going from the peep shows to actual
putting
movies.
film down.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's absolutely fantastic. All the characters, the girls that play on the street, the pimps, all the way up to the cops. It's absolutely a phenomenal show, and it's a perfect era. It's like New York in the late 60s, early 70s. That vibe and just so
big cars
awesome.
and
Yes, money wasn't
gray
wasn't
skies.
prevalent in some parts of New York. It's fantastic. It continued. I think it's on season 3. HBO Go. I'd check it out. The Deuce.
Cool.
New York.
This show is god awful.
Is someone on the phone?
What is going on? Are you guys just going to talk about movies you've seen for 2 hours?
Oh,
Is
we
this-
were actually
is
we
this
were
Alex
actually
Jones?
we were actually
Alex Jones.
Do you know anything about chimeras, sir?
I know a thing or two about spider goats.
Oh, yeah, they have awesome silk. They'll produce silk, more silk than a spider, and silk is the strongest element in the universe.
I think you just made that up.
No,
Hey,
it comes out of
Paul
their milk
Gold-
teats. I know,
Listen.
it's spider silk.
I'm sitting here in my parents' living room. Paul Goldschmidt just hit his first home run at the club.
That's absolutely unbelievable.
All right.
I'm glad you called. That's actually huge news. I really do appreciate it. That's awesome.
Yeah, that
All
is.
right. Hey,
Many
we're
more
up
to come.
2-0, top of the first. Runner on first here. Yachty's up to bat.
Love it.
Yeah, it's looking all right. So what are we talking about, fellas?
We're talking about streaming picks. You called in at just the right time, Seth, because you always have such great streaming picks. What
I
you
don't
watching?
stream anything. I watch like concerts and stuff.
Oh,
I try to find like
Go ahead.
I just try to find like rare stuff on YouTube to watch. I don't like sit and watch like a movie. I don't like movies unless they're like weird abstracts, like
Seth
independent film.
watches.
And I literally tell my mom like, "Hey, I'm on live radio right now," so she's just talking here. I don't know.
Keep it down, Mom.
Seth watches beheading videos followed by like My Little Pony, and then he goes and washes.
Like, all right,
his
feel
hands
great. He
30
likes to ride
times.
the wave.
So I think he'd be able to
That-
handle the reckoning then. I think
Yeah,
he'd be
you
fine.
into the reckoning? What concerts you been watching lately, Guy?
What concerts? I don't know. I watched a very some rare Green Day footage the other day from way back. That was pretty cool.
Hey, did you see any of that JT footage on Facebook?
You talking about Justin Timberlake?
Yeah.
Be so quick to
I mean,
walk away.
I'm a big fan of his. I think he's hilarious on SNL. You've
agree.
seen him on SNL.
Wow, that's an
I agree with you.
upset.
He is one of the most talented people in the
He's
world.
awesome.
Love him or hate him,
He's
he
our-
is
he's our
uber
Johnny
talented.
He's our Johnny
He
Carson.
can dance. He can write. He's funny. He can sing.
Why don't you just
I'm
marry
sure
him, Seth?
He could probably ride a unicycle.
Seth,
He actually probably could ride a unicycle.
Seth, can I say my
I'll bet-
dad's nutsack on radio?
You can. I'd prefer if you didn't, but
Okay, I won't-
allegedly,
I won't
he
say it
allegedly
anymore.
said that.
the FCC doesn't care, but I do have a boss I answer
Yeah.
to, and
Oh.
I don't know. Plowsy knows him.
I
So-
do. He's fantastic.
I shouldn't say it thrice then.
Thrice.
Allegedly.
Dude,
Allegedly.
dude, you know what I found the other day digging through some old files?
Hit me with it.
I found audio of Plowsy reading some like religious like copy
Oh man, I think
for
I
the
remember this.
Christian station.
Yes.
Oh,
Do you have it?
oh
have the
man,
sound?
If you find it, please message me. I remember doing some of them, and I remember bringing you in studio and having a very entertaining half hour cutting those. I loved it.
yeah, it was great. You smelled like a Cuban cigar factory.
That's
and you're like,
kind of my cologne. Smell my car. It's about the same.
O'Day.
yeah, your
Cuban.
eyes are barely opening. He's trying to read this like Christian commercial copy, and he's just
Statute of
losing it. He
limitations.
can't get through.
Yeah, no, that wasn't me, sir. No, that wasn't me. But Seth, I do miss you, buddy.
Oh,
Hey, look at him,
That's-
he's all shy now. That's cute.
that's very bromantic of you.
You know how much I love you, and I love Cucky and Craig. Maybe we'll hop on even more often. I love this show.
I would love to replace Seth right now. Look
I-
at Seth, you're fired.
No. We
There's
need the full
4
group.
microphones. Why do I have to be fired?
No, we still like
yeah,
you a
yeah,
lot.
yeah.
We
Say,
still
Seth,
like
there's
you
plenty of
a
room in
lot.
the studio for you.
We miss
Hey, we
you.
were a little excited because the phone rang in the studio here when you called. So thanks for that.
There should be a do not disturb button there on the phone.
All right, let's
Let's
find that.
go
Walk
through this.
us
Can you grab
through
the
it.
manual
Walk
real
us
quick? All
through
right,
it.
so we've
Walk
got
us through
the
this real quick.
These are the- I-
Gotta love these.
I'm
But
comfortable with these phones.
it did come up Harlan Steele, so we were really kind of excited to see what Harlan had to add to the show, and then you came on and
It blew my mind.
lambasted it. I
It
know.
blew my mind. I thought it was Harlan, and I'm like, this is Seth.
Yeah, we're on a phone plan together because we're both.
That's actually a way better.
Awesome.
You buried the lead.
Oh,
He's like, hey, bro, I can get a fat deal on a phone. I was like, all right, I'm in.
I
Screw it.
believe
And
that
he does-
that was the exact wording he used
Hey,
too.
bro, I can get a fat deal on a phone.
I was like, what's my new number? He's like, 420. I'm like, stop. What?
Stop it.
He's like, yeah, I'm not gonna say the rest. I don't need people calling me.
Yeah,
all
what's
night.
that last for?
I don't know.
Right on.
I'll give
Hey,
it out to people.
Hey,
Don't
we
worry
were
about
telling everybody, Seth, about
BX.
a fun little time we might have next Thursday. What do you think?
Oh, I'm really excited about that. That's gonna be a great time. I hope Plowsy's gonna be there for sure, right?
We hope.
I got
He's
2
got
weeks
a new
free,
job.
so I'm kind of just
Oh.
chilling.
Hey, we're doing opening day down at the O'Shea's Pub in the Grove.
You
I'm
got
gonna
no
go
reason to not
live.
be
I'll be there,
It's
and
gonna be a
me and my
good time.
girlfriend absolutely love the Grove. It's one of the best
It's
places.
one of the
It is
hopping neighborhoods in
unbelievable.
the neighborhood.
Love it.
Hey, we also got something going to April 5th. right?
I believe we got the time change, which is great. But yeah, we got the first Friday after party at Parlor, correct?
Oh yeah, that'll be a late night.
A late night.
Ooh,
Late night.
Whoa.
8 to 10. That's a late night.
That's when all the cool kids start entering that zone, though. Even though it's cool the whole time, like the really cool kids start going.
Iggy's calling me right now.
Get a little dad.
Iggy,
I'll
put him
wait
on.
till after-
Put him
No.
on.
Oh,
Tell him to
God,
call
no,
the
I'm not.
station. Tell him to call
As
the
angry as
station.
Iggy is, I'm not putting him on the phone.
Put him
I
on
love
air.
Iggy to death. No, I'll talk to him after the break.
Okay.
Seth,
You got anything else? Or you just-
hey,
we were
I wanted to
running
tell
our
you, you were
flow?
talking about watching concerts. Today,
that's interesting.
Today, I got an email that I won 4 tickets to Nick Mason's Saucer Full of Secrets, the heartbeat of Pink Floyd. Pink Floyd's drummer is coming to St. Louis, and I was like, it's probably a pretty steep ticket. I don't know. There's a lot of shows I'm gonna be seeing around that time. Hey, if I win some tickets, I do not remember entering this contest.
Hey, tell him what you had to do to get those tickets, though.
Well,
Tell him what you had to do.
I don't want to tell him.
Tell him what
I
you
like
had
to
do.
have my secrets.
Okay,
We'll
just release the
so
video later.
no, but I ended up with 4 tickets to Nick Mason's Saucer Full of Secrets, and so I watched Pink Floyd's Pompeii performance today. I've got the it's on my computer at home, live at Pompeii. I was showing Steve echoes, so I totally get watching concerts, tuning into concerts.
Concerts.
It's a good time. It's a good time, man. I watched Green Day. One of the things I watched was their Woodstock '94 performance.
With all the mud getting thrown at them?
They got into a mud fight and people jumped on stage. Security started tackling people. They thought Mike Dirnt, the bass player, he took his guitar. It was on the ground, and the security guard didn't know who he was and speared him and chipped his tooth. Fun fact.
Wow, look at this guy.
Fun fact, baby.
Hey, Floyd playing at Pompeii, was that and if you close your eyes, it's always feel like you.
No, that's the band
Close
Pompeii.
your eyes.
I like that song.
Pink
though.
Floyd
Still.
was actually in
I
Pompeii.
know. Pompeii is. I'm a
Performing in front of
Greek.
no one, which makes it
I'm
really
a
cool.
Greek.
As
I know.
during
Pompeii.
sunset, and they got this
It's in
giant
Italy.
gong.
Is it in Italy?
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Got this
knew that.
giant gong that's like blacking out the sun. It's awesome. Check it out.
Blacking
Seth, you got
out
anything
the
else before we
sun.
honor our
Won't
sponsors and then
you
jump to break?
come?
Yeah, I got something else. First of all, the weather here is
What?
great. It's like the trees are all dead and it's
Where
raining.
is he?
And
Where are you?
oh, gosh. I'm about 2 hours north of you, boo.
Ooh.
Oh,
But
you sound
yeah,
like you're right
I'm
on
in the old
top of me.
stomping grounds, dude. There's this greasy little taco joint. If you can get
Oh.
past the people that work there and just don't think about it, oh, it's so gross and so
dude.
good.
Seth, is that why you went for a greasy little taco?
Oh, I'll put my mouth on it. Hey,
That's why I went to Mexico last year.
hey, we got a special. We got to hopefully pin. Now, I haven't confirmed that the time change, our new 8 to 10 time slot, is okay, but I think we're going to be good.
Oh, that's
so
good.
I'm going to go ahead.
Now
I'm
we
gonna
got
go ahead and-
confirmed.
Yeah, whatever.
No. I'm talking about the guest for next week.
Oh.
Which I'm trying to get that to that. If you'd let me get a full sentence out.
Oh,
Here, so
anything else,
we
Seth?
have. He's been in studio with us before. He's coming back. Convicted LSD kingpin to best-selling author Seth Ferrani in studio
He's
next
a G.
Friday.
He's a bad
awesome,
man.
dude. I was been reading his book Supreme Team. It's magnificent.
The life story of the
yeah.
Supremes.
Yes,
Unbelievable.
I mean,
dude.
the gritty story that he told.
Of Eunice, the
Yes.
fifth or the sixth Supreme,
Yes,
who gets lost.
yes.
Hey, do you guys want to say hi to my mom? She's sitting right here.
We sure
Hi,
do.
Seth's mom.
Hi, Seth's mom.
What's up? What's up, girl?
No, I mean like I would hand her the phone. She'd be,
Okay.
you want to be on live radio? She said no.
Oh man, I've
She
been
said
there.
she's too shy. Nobody listens to our show.
Yeah, no one.
Oh, no, Seth, you'd be surprised. There's actually 126,000 people watching on Facebook
Hey,
right now.
can she give us a little secret about you, or maybe
Hi,
just
it's the record.
says something about you?
Oh,
No, she's too shy.
Can she,
okay.
Can she tell us how big your pee-pee is?
Seth,
my
hate that you
goodness.
said that.
She hasn't seen it since the last time she changed me, which
And
was
it
like
hasn't grown.
couple
It
years
hasn't
ago.
grown since then either.
Has to have a huge penis. I mean, no way God is that cruel.
What a best drop ever.
Timely
Right.
drop.
Yeah, no
Timely
doubt.
drop.
That was one of the best.
Seth, we're gonna let you go so we can
Love
go pay the
We're
bills.
up against
We're gonna
it.
pay the bills. We
I'm
are.
pretty sure I'm the producer, and I'm just going to go ahead and skip this break.
Hard break.
Oh, we gotta go to break. We gotta.
No,
get
all right,
in there.
guys. I'm going to watch this game and chill.
Hey,
I got
call
my-
in if Goldie hits another one.
Don't.
All right.
I love you, Seth.
I love you,
Love you.
Seth.
We miss
Love
you.
you guys. See ya.
Oh my God, he's
Guys,
So
we
adorable. He gets so shy.
We got Seth to say, "I love you."
We broke him down, people.
He is just. He's getting to be that nice.
Little
Where
butterfly.
butter's just butter just starts to melt.
A
where it
fly
just
in your
kinda-
butter.
just a little bit, of just melting in
A
your
little-
hands,
little-
and his and out of that, this
And then you
little
put it on a
pulsating,
baby.
this little pulsating heartbeat just goes. Ding, 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 ding,
And that little baby Seth come out, and he got a weird looking body.
This is Hoosier Sophisticate on WGNU 920 AM. Stick around at the end of the break.
Say word. Last February, we held our first Hoosier Tattoo Day at Tower Classic Tattooing in the Grove. And I got to tell you, a lot of really sweet art happened on that day. Everyone who showed up left very happy with their new tattoo. The artist did everything they could to ensure everything, from the drawing to the application itself, was perfected and exceeded the expectations of each individual client. We packed the house, and the artist remained cool as a cucumber the whole time. If you got the itch to get inked, visit Tower Classic Tattooing, located at 4146 Manchester in the Grove. Check out their artist profiles at towerclassic.com.
You can get an insurance quote anywhere. What people are really looking for is someone to help manage the risk of everyday life. And that's exactly what James Carlton State Farm does. He's also dangerously handsome.
He has the dreamiest eyes.
James Carlton has the best customer service in the game. You'll never get a voicemail, and you'll always get a great back rub.
He has the softest hands.
A strong sense of community is important to who he is as an agent. From local school sponsorships to sandbagging during floods, it's paramount to be a part of the community.
We love the cut of his jib.
Guys, call 314-961-4800. Find him online at carltoninsurance.net.
We wish he was our dad.
Hey there, sophisticated Hoosiers. Have you been to our website? Visit HoosierSophisticate.com and listen to our uncensored podcast. Share some laughs with us. Send us fan mail so we can feel warm and special. Buy our merchandise so that we can eat. Wear your Hoosier Sophisticate t-shirt at social gatherings and let the women approach you. Wear it around the office and get that big promotion instead of Ted. That's right. Screw Ted. Ted sucks. That's HoosierSophisticate.com.
Hey there, Krager.
Well, hey, Steve.
How you doing, buddy?
Man, I've been pretty good.
Well, that's good. Hey, you heard anything about them newfangled hemp oils they got now?
I just don't know where to find a good one.
Well, I find the best full spectrum hemp oil from MomedCanco.com. Where? I get it from MomedCanco.com.
Is it expensive?
It don't cost 2 kittens whiskers. And if you enter HOSO in the promo box, you gonna get yourself 15% off.
Buddy, it sounds like we're squatting tall cotton.
Darn right we are.
Where can I find them?
You can find them online, MomedCanco.com, Missouri Medical Cannabis Company.
Thanks, buddy. Yeah.
Lifetime.
Jill.
It lasts a lifetime.
Come on.
It lasts a lifetime.
Yeah.
And just go Google it. I wanna let those shingles down, girl, for you. I wanna let those shingles down, boy, for you. I'm gonna do some siding, get you excited. James Hardy siding. Google it.
Real back for a lifetime.
You know I make your neighbors cry, boo, hoo. Cause we tell all the leaks go bye. And you know we all do the side.
James Hardy boy, yeah.
Guys, Lifetime Roofing. They're the best roofers in the game. Best customer service. LifetimeSTL.com. Google them.
Hey Hoosiers, Greg Kohler here. With home buying season heating up, be sure to get a quote from a top agency and provider of the #1 home insurer in North America. They offer coverage that's second to none. In fact, if your AC goes out, they offer a new endorsement where you can get a replacement from a local HVAC company. Give them a call, 314-961-4800. If you get a machine and you don't talk to a person, we'll give you one of these fine Hoosier Sophisticate tees. Just takes one phone call or apply online at carltoninsurance.net. People do business with James because they like and trust him. Just check him out on Google and Facebook. If your insurance is costing you a leg and an arm, then call James Carlton State Farm.
Hoosier Sophisticate with Craig Kohler and Stephen Elgin.
Joining us now is psychic detective Todd Segal.
I'm a psychic that actually specializes in investigation, missing person cases. You know, what was really weird was I did see what I thought were ghosts. I felt certain things about people that were just really off about them, but they came true. Those are the kind of things that happened to me as a kid, but I paid no attention to it.
Hoosier Sophisticate, Fridays from 6 to 8 p.m. on WGNU.
Imagine being denied an apartment because of your religion, or your race, or because you have children, or a disability.
It's so wrong.
Yes, but who has the power to stop this?
You do. Each of us has the power. The law is on your side. It's illegal for landlords to discriminate because of race, color, religion, sex, national origin, disability, or familial status. If you suspect that you have experienced housing discrimination, file a complaint with HUD immediately so we can investigate it. Fair housing is your right.
Use it.
To learn more, visit hud.gov/fairhousing. That's hud.gov/fairhousing. Or call 1-800-669-9777. 1-800-669-9777. A public service message from HUD in partnership with the National Fair Housing Alliance.
Let's face it, you're a product of a nutty society, and there are unexamined crevices and uncleaned out drain traps in all of us, and you're going to encounter that stuff. The good news is the earlier psychedelic trips tend to deal with that.
Say word, Radio Land. We're coming at you live with Steve and Craig on Hoosier Sophisticate, presented by Mycelio Media. Now, St. Louis, let's do this.
This is not tea, this is eating raw mushrooms. As soon as the mushroom enters my body, I sit and meditate.
Parents, baby. And integrity. I love it.
Heck of a duo right there.
Our rejoins.
My man.
We realized that we didn't let our buddy Plowsy say bye, but
that's kind of the deal.
Kind of the trend in St. Louis right now. That's what we're doing here. Radio. Sorry you don't get to say bye.
Got nothing for you.
All right.
Thanks for stopping by. Though.
Yeah,
seriously,
thanks
we love you.
No, really.
Yeah, I truly
Plowsy,
love that guy.
Please drop
I
in
love him.
anytime.
He's great.
He's listening right now on 920.
I bet he is. I bet he is, sir.
Tell me, you got another story
Yeah,
about your dad?
I do, because this is the dad episode, and I love my dad more than life itself, for real. Like he makes me want to be a better dad to my sons, which, we got to have a little time change. Thank God. Sponsors like Lifetime Roofing.
Roof?
Just Google them. Lifetime STL. Just Google them. If you have any exterior problem in your house, Google them. That's all you got to do. But they let us be able to tell tales like this about my dad, and what a legendary legend. At CBC, you'll see he's wrestled at CBC, and at the old CBC they had a statue of him, like a bronze statue of him in his singlet.
Okay.
And it says "I am the Destroyer" at the bottom.
Yeah.
And he's in like a fighting stance.
Okay.
He's over the faceless man, like in that guard or whatever.
Yeah.
He's actually in the guard. The faceless man has the mount.
I gotcha. Okay.
So that's the statue he has. And they moved it to the new
That's a
CBC.
legend.
They moved it to the new CBC. So I had big shoes to fill, or a big singlet to fill, more or less. You heard the first story. But my parents got divorced when I was 12. So me and my dad spent probably more time together after, just because I was baseball, soccer, basketball.
Sure.
Just loved it. Ate it up. Practiced 2-3 times a night. North County games, St. Charles, God, who knows? So we had a game, and I would play CYC soccer too.
Sure.
And it was a joke. Like it would just,
select soccer was
travesty.
just a completely
Yes,
different
I
ballgame.
played just my stepbrother played. So I was like, okay,
a lot of those guys still played COIC, but yeah, most of those kids were like,
so
we're not
we
playing on an
dominated.
extra team. We play 72 games a summer. You know?
So my dad invites his friends out to a game at St. Simon.
Okay.
Old St. Simon. And it was a night game. They had lights and stuff. And so we're like, this is cool, man. It's like a Friday night or whatever. Well, my dad invites his buddy and his kids come out. My 8th grade girlfriend comes out.
Oh man.
It's a big day. Okay. And I'm like, okay, I usually play real well against it, but I was kind of a distributor. I was a sweeper. I would play wing mid, but this, I was a center midfielder. I was the, core of everything, distributing everything. Yeah, I know. And I played for St. Matthias. No, St. Matthias was baseball. What was the one that was right there in South County? Oh God, it'll come to me. So I had to play for a different school because we didn't have enough boys.
Yeah, I played for Our Lady of Sorrows.
There you go. So we end up big game, end up scoring 4 goals.
Nice.
One is still the best goal I've ever scored. I hit a right outside of my foot bend from like the side and bent it around the goalie into the net, just like showing off at this point. And I'm like, I've never hit one that good before. I'm like, oh, this is great. So I have a good old time. I can see my dad is beaming because I'm destroying his buddies there with his kids. One is my age, and they're like, this dude is putting on a clinic tonight. So I got white shorts, my white jersey, we were red and white. And most precious blood.
Okay.
Most precious blood. We used to play at those Grasso fields and stuff. So after the game, I'm walking on sunshine. We had the soccer ball out, and it's me and my 8th grade girlfriend and my dad's friends.
You're the star.
Yeah. And we're like the last ones there. My dad and his buddy, I'm sure, having a few in the parking lot. It was a CYC game. So everybody's just
that's
having a good time.
Yep.
So everyone leaves, and I remember we're shooting baskets at the end, like, hey, we're having a good old time. And I'm getting ready to pop a shot from the corner, and I am like, I'm letting it all hang out tonight. The lights go off and the sprinklers go on, and it is pointed directly at my crotch in these white shorts. And it's just like, you couldn't have timed this any better in the history of the world. So my little peckers out there just like see-through shorts. And everyone's like, oh, that took a turn real quick from being like
from the penthouse to the outhouse.
Yeah, exactly, immediately. And I was like, oh, that's great. And I remember standing there as it's going, and I was like, this is happening? I couldn't have been standing anywhere else right now. And why is this pointed at the basketball court? But I was shooting a corner 3-pointer. You know what I mean? So I was right by the field, and it got me so good. And everyone was like, just had a great laugh at my expense. But that's my life. If anything surmises my life
Good
right
for
there,
you, though.
I'll have a real good moment, and I'll try to look cool. Like I remember in chicks, I'd always kind of give them like, hey, baby. Like I thought I was cool. Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, kind of pumping up my